Hey everyone, John here from JKLL Storytime. Before we get into episode 6, I just wanted to take a second and say thank you. We have listeners across the globe now, and that genuinely means everything to us. The fact that you're spending part of your day with us, wherever you are in the world, we don't take that lightly. As we get closer to Wedding on Tour, we're so glad you're along for the ride. And one thing worth mentioning, we've officially submitted 4 Guinness World Record attempts connected to the tour. So we're looking forward to seeing how that unfolds alongside everything else. From me and Keisha, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts. Now let's get into episode 6.
Are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Me too. Boy, last week was rough after that St. Patty's one.
It wasn't that rough.
We got a couple in the bank now, so now we're back to weekly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, regulars, to the JKLL Storytime. I'm John,
I'm Keisha.
if it wasn't apparent.
I mean, we could just one day. I could be John. You could be Keisha. That could be fun.
Well, my mom did say I could be anything I want when I grow up.
Well, let's
I wanna
change
be a
chairs
Keisha.
and throw people for a loop next time.
We changed enough. We don't have our real mics yet. I think the rest of the equipment gets here today. So episode 7 will have full production value. I don't think it's been bad. I listened to the other one.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good. I mean, these little clip-on microphones are actually quite nice. And
Well, it's good because we're going to use them on tour
Yes.
in the car. So if you're new to the podcast, you're already a regular, just like that bar where everybody knows your name,
Yep.
coming from a hospitality background.
Absolutely.
If you've been listening to us in the future and you're in the back catalog, seeing where we came from, the production value is probably better by then. I feel even going from the first episode we recorded to now, I feel way more confident and comfortable with what we're doing.
I feel like we're starting to pave our path a little bit. We've got a direction for sure.
Because this is not us. Like, to do a podcast, like, we don't live our lives on the internet, social media.
No, not at all. I don't even think I've even made a post on social media for years, probably 4+ years. Like, I don't, and it's not that it's a bad thing, but for me, I'm very much one of those people that I feel inferior to the people who are out there living their lives that way. And not only that, but it's just, I am a fairly private person. I will share with close friends, but that inner circle is my safe place where it's like, okay, I get to have my out loud feelings and get it out of my system. But yeah, I'm not a huge promoter of gossip or slander or, I try to live my life as this is who I am, living out loud. And trying not to make other people main characters in my story, because I'm the main character of my story. John's the main character in his. I get to play a supporting role in his story, but I'm the main character in my story, and I can't thrust myself as main character onto somebody else's story or think that I have any sort of influence when the reality is that I'm not. So very much a believer that we are in charge of our own paths, and
We sure are, but we're the main characters in this story.
we do get to kind of share main character in Wedding on Tour. And
Yeah, we also have a bunch of supporting characters that we've gotten into. We've talked about Lisa, we've talked about Gail, talked about some of the other people. We've briefly introduced Randusky.
Yeah.
So yeah, we as you learn about us and learn about Wedding on Tour and how this all came to be and our stops and why they're important to me and for you, then I get to learn a little bit about you. You might notice that we're rocking some
Gold tonight.
gold.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like afternoon. Lunch was good.
Yes. Lunch was delicious. So
We're rocking the Knights jersey.
we are, because that's our next stop on the tour. And, hindsight.
Go Knights, go!
Oh, my.
Sorry, I got into it.
It's actually more like a go, Knights, go.
Well,
Go, Knights, go. But
you know me, I have no rhythm. I'm really good at drinking $19 beers.
Yeah, for sure. Well, our story takes us, that's where our next stop on the tour is going to be, is in Las Vegas. Typical elopement type of a destination, but for us it has a little bit more meaning to it, besides the fact that, again, my childhood had led me there several times before, several, adulthood conferences in Las Vegas. It's kind of a main hub for big conferences, especially
Rightfully
in the dental
so.
world.
I mean, it's the entertainment capital of the world.
Oh, and the food options are incredible.
And generally, there's relatively inexpensive flights. You have the entertainment, you
part.
have the accommodations, you have
Yeah.
the food. Well,
Yeah.
it's something for everybody,
Correct.
including the heat.
Very diverse.
It's the time of the year where now it's like conference season. It's like early spring and like late fall is conference season in Las Vegas. So
Yes.
I'm sure it's absolutely bonkers there right now.
Hey, I support it.
Sorry, anyway, to cut you off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's led us, both of us, we've had, gosh, I can't even count how many conferences I've been there prior to being in a relationship with you. But you've also been there for conferences prior to, PK, pre-Keisha.
Pre-Keisha. Huh? Is that what we're doing? PK? Yeah, went to the Bar and Restaurant Expo several times. Conference down there. So 2022 got nominated for Most Original Concept in 2021 for one of my bars. Made it into the top 3.
Yeah.
Lost out to 2 huge hospitality companies, one in Austin, Texas, one in Ohio somewhere. And there's just me with my little bar in Monaco, North Dakota.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to be that. And I,
Yes.
in typical Jon fashion, dressed up in full character, which I think maybe I should have dressed up for this one.
You could have, but that's okay.
Honestly, maybe I'll bring it out for Wisconsin. We'll bring that guy back for Wisconsin.
Or for
That's
when
like
you're
the vibe.
talking about the, that adventure too, how dads became dads.
Mm-hmm.
So we can.
And how I ended up in Milwaukee.
Yeah, for sure. So
That's a whole episode in itself.
and you can dress up for that.
And
one.
you can
How
meet
about
that
sweetheart?
character. Yeah, he's a guy.
And I'll wear my I Heart Dad Bods shirt for you.
Oh, sweet. I feel like we should sell those I Heart Dad Bods. JK, LOL Storytime.
We could.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
You let us know if you're interested in that.
But
So.
moving towards, the backstory, I guess, for our Las Vegas stop, we had, at the time that really impacted both of us, actually, was I had moved out. Divorce process just was super long on my end.
Super separated.
Yes, but finally I got an apartment, doing hard things, and where I had always worked at the practice with my ex, had a whole wealth of knowledge, but not a lot of places where I could utilize it.
Generally don't work with your ex while you're trying to divorce them.
No. Well, and even here in small town, I had applied for just, like just a basic administrative position at a different office, and they reached out to me maybe 10 months later, and they're like, oh, we thought it was a joke, but, we're desperate and we need your help. And I'm like, sorry, I'm doing other things now, but thank you for, I just was confused. Like, I've got all the qualifications. Why won't people hire me? And, it's one of the curses and blessings of living in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And this office thought that it was a joke. And,
Well,
that's okay.
I don't think it was super public at that point that you guys were separated.
Well,
At least on your end.
I guess it depends on the circles. Yeah, I wasn't broadcasting it all over the world, but also, yeah, when you're a business owner, you don't necessarily want to air
Talk
that
about
dirty
your lows.
laundry.
Mm-hmm. You
So-
want to talk about what happens in the valley, right?
Well, I mean, it's important, I think.
Well, I know it's important to talk about what happens in the valley, especially with us and on this podcast, but I think, like, coming from a business owner perspective myself, you generally don't want to talk about what happens in the valley. Like, I'm kind of the exception to the rule on that. Like, I've always been raw and real and vulnerable in a lot of the stuff that I do. But I think a lot of business owners only want to post, like, or talk about their wins and being on the mountain.
Yes.
I mean, there was a long slog through where I got to going to Vegas for the Bar and Restaurant Expo, and a lot of hard lessons learned along the way.
Right.
That was on the backside of COVID, certainly in a valley there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So getting to the story side of things, I actually had decided this was the kind of a fun memory between Jon, myself, and another dear friend. We decided we were going to take a trip to Glacier National Park. And I, again, love the mountains, love the trees, and Glacier is the place that I'd never been to, heard about. So I'm going to go. And I did. I went with my best friends. And we had a fun experience for sure. But one of those experiences was we decided to do a full day hike. I don't even remember the name of the hike anymore.
We went towards some falls in East Glacier where there's rattlesnakes.
Where there's rattlesnakes.
Not
and
bears.
It was, August, and so it was, bear season, huckleberry season.
Huckleberry season. Huckleberry. I'll be your huckleberry.
Thank you, honey. I'm your huckleberry.
Well, thanks, man. It's incredible. Real quick time out on that. From the falls, like I believe it's our cover photo on our Facebook account at JKLL Storytime, and maybe Wedding on Tour too. The cover photo of our profile page is what we took from the top of the falls.
Yes.
So that is a real photo that I took with an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's
years
incredible. Many years ago. Check it out. It's incredible, our view. So maybe you have some context for the story that Keisha's ramping up to. So we hike up to these falls.
Yes, and none of us are in really good shape.
Round's a shape.
Round is a shape, for sure.
I graduated
So we
kindergarten.
kind of just took it at our leisure. That was the first time I used a shiwi, actually. I
Yep.
remember you got, because you're
Boy Scout.
like you got.
We all had two-way radios, and
sometimes
pro.
drop trout. You were pretty awesome.
we were ready for anything.
You were.
Mm-hmm.
So it took probably about 5.5 hours to hike to the fall. We started in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and the first fall, like there's several falls. You can keep going,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just stay at the one, and that's your mission accomplished. But
Mm-hmm.
we decided, Jon, in natural Jon fashion, we had huckleberry beers,
Mm-hmm.
and then we also had a huckleberry whiskey.
No, I think it was just a rye whiskey from some distillery up there.
Okay, it was a local
We
distillery,
bought
but
some.
we had
We
huckleberry.
bought some huckleberry liqueur, but we didn't take that on the
Gotcha.
on the hike with us because it's bear season.
Correct. And well, you can only carry so much. So we had a fun flask, and then we had 3 beers, right?
3 beers, yep.
Okay.
Huck it
Huck it.
from I forget which brewery, but it was delicious.
It was. So we decided, okay, there's too much traffic down here. I'm not a huge crowds person. I'm like, let's
It's
just
all the
hike up.
touristy part of the falls, right?
Right.
And you can see the levels of falls. Looking up.
Yeah. So we decided let's take it one level deeper. So we go to the second fall, and we're like, oh yeah, there's no one here. There's a pond. My friend and I were ecstatic. Like, we're just jumping in, having fun, being squirrely girlies. Jon was doing Jon stuff, taking pictures.
In video and like, hurry up.
Yes. But up at the third fall, we saw this person, and there was this, pretty in decent shape, generally good looking redhead guy. And my friend was single at the time. I'm like, hey, you like redheads? Wink, wink. So
Sure,
natural
babe. You were thinking for her.
I was, honey. I promise. Anyways.
It's okay if you weren't. It's fine.
But I decided that, you know what, we're going to invite him down. It's kind of an awkward question, but you're the only other person on this mountain. Do you want to join us for a shot of locally brewed whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
And, this is kind of a big accomplishment for me, at least, to go to
Mm-hmm.
Glacier and just getting back to the trees.
Trees in the mountains. I think
freedom.
my quote was, "Oi, bro, you like whiskey?"
So he
In
comes
typical
down.
bartender fashion,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down, and I introduce myself. Jon introduces himself, and
You introduce your friend.
I introduced my friend. It unfortunately it did not work out. I was not a good matchmaker that day, but
It worked out for her in the end.
it did. Yes.
But we got to hang out with that guy for a bit. And
yeah, he introduced himself
Mm-hmm.
as who he was, and then that he had connections to the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, hang on, I know the dentist for the Golden Knights. And so it was kind of one of those paths connecting several years prior. Actually, before I moved to North Dakota, I was kind of at a split road of like, what do I want to be doing with my life? And I hadn't really committed to this relationship here in North Dakota yet. And so I was going on an interview for this doctor to go work at his practice in Las Vegas. And he's a brilliant, just incredible dentist.
we love him so much. He's so fun.
Well, and just his talent and his skills. He's truly gifted at what he does. He should be retiring, but he has absolutely no intention of doing that because now he's living the dream being, he's grew up Canadian and
He just
it was
loves hockey. It's in his blood.
It is. And so he's living his dream, and he is incredible. So I wouldn't advise him to give that up for anything. But anyways, so I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to reach out to this doctor. Well, after this this Glacier trip, I had, I was going to go and take my kiddo to vacation, go back to my roots again. This was a trip of freedom for me. So first half was with friends, second half was with family. And so taking my daughter back to Idaho and visiting family there. And on the way, I just sent him a Facebook message, hey, Doc, it's been a long time, wondering what you're up to. Life has been all kinds of hectic for me. I would love the opportunity to catch up and see if maybe there's something I can be doing to help grow your practice. Don't know what life looks like for you right now, but again, definitely a God thing. because he was transitioning and building a new practice, and he needed some consulting help. So I ended up going and consulting for him, and I would work remotely, helping to do, just background software cleanup, making sure, accounts receivables are what they are, doing a little bit of remote work. But then I would go once a month to his practice and be there in person for a week, because my custody schedule is 1 week on, 1 week off. So go there. But, at the time, I'm young, don't know much about running a consulting type business. I decided, well, I can pay my own way. You're paying my salary. I'll pay my own way, which was not the smartest move on my end. Because then it's like, oh, well, plane tickets are $800. That doesn't leave a lot in the budget for hotels. So I found this really cool hotel. It was on Rainbow Road, which, if anyone's played Mario Kart, I'm like, what could go wrong on Rainbow Road? And so I get there, and we don't have to get into all the details of how it happened, but there ended up being an incident there where I'm very confident that the human trafficking, a single woman checking in late at night, a lot of information shared while there's witnesses at the front desk, and then people trying to come in my room multiple times, was kind of scary. So, John's my man friend, and I'm like, okay. Like, not man friend, but he's
like
a friend
that's a man, yeah.
And then his police background too. I'm like,
So you
John,
called me.
somebody just tried to come in my room, da 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 da. So he's on my cell phone, and he's like, okay, well, barricade the door. Like, first things first. Like, don't let anybody come in your room.
Let's worry about your safety right now before we deal.
And
with
then he's
else.
like, call the police. And I was like, probably not going to do that. I think that's a no-go for me. I'm just going to call the front desk. It's late. I have to get up early and be at the office early. I just need 5 hours of sleep. So I'm just going to call the front desk and tell them to change my key. So I call the front desk, and they're like, well, you have to come down here in order for us to change the coding for that room.
Which is false.
And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable with that. And then he started getting a little bit aggressive with me, like, you need to come down here right now if you're worried about all this, da 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 da. And so John was, on speakerphone. I had called on the hotel phone, and he's like, Keisha, just hang up. So I hung up with him, and then he's like, call the Las Vegas Police Department. So my options were they could either escort me out of the building that night, and I have to find a new hotel room after having a really bad experience prior to this.
In a rental property.
In a rental property where there was no privacy. It was a house that there was no lock on the bathroom from the inside, only from the outside, which was really
very strange.
weird. So, yeah, this was actually my second place since I had gotten to Las Vegas.
All inside of
less than
12
hours.
Yeah.
Within like 5 hours, honestly. And so I ended up choosing the option of the police are like, well, we can escort you out in the morning. You're relatively safe. I doubt that they're going to continue trying to break into your room now that you're alert of this, and we'll send an officer to be patrolling the area, blah, blah, blah. Okay, perfect. So I got probably about 3 hours of sleep.
I think you slept on the phone with me.
Yes, I did.
On speakerphone.
I did have John on speakerphone for sure.
While you're dealing with all this, I had booked a flight to Vegas to leave at 5 a.m. out of Minot.
Yes.
Just to give you a little peace of mind.
Yes. Having my best friend there. Every preceding trip after that, I ended up staying with the doctor at his house. He had a guest bedroom and was so generous to let me stay there. But anyways, after this experience, that kind of changed a lot of things. But it brought, John to Las Vegas. And the result was John doing what John does. Like, we have this new practice. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. Like, they did an incredible job designing it. His wife helped with the interior design aspects, and it's just perfect. But, it was a brand new business, and the people who were helping this doctor build, they weren't quite the best, I guess, forward thinkers. Like, there was no internet hookups.
They were thinking, like, more worried about getting tile on the wall than, like, seeing 6 moves down, like, oh, we don't have any fiber, we don't have any internet options, and we're moving.
Oh, there's no sign on the door. We don't know where the practice is at. So,
you're pulled into a nondescript, like, strip mall office building type thing.
Behind a gas station and car wash.
Well, it's right behind a Chick-fil-A, too.
Yeah, it is.
That's a whole story with the drawer full of nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, yeah. But, so true John fashion, just making things happen. He's a business owner. He could see all these moves. So ended up getting, cellular internet in there just so we could maintain operations. Because nowadays, when you have advanced technology, internet is absolutely essential. So there were a lot of fun things that he got to do, and gained a good relationship with the doctor. And they kind of became friends. And so we got the inside scoop, like going to, sushi restaurants and having just the best sushi that I've ever had in my life with him and his wife, and just gaining these really good, again, root type relationships in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so...
Of all places.
Of all places. And, we've been back a couple of times. Well, have we been back a couple of times?
I think so. I mean, I think there was even a conversation. It was
sure.
like, what does this look like if we both move here full time? Like, obviously, I can find something, entertainment capital of the world, mixology, all that stuff. Like, I'd have to start at the bottom, which is fine. Like, bar back. But...
Well, and for me, my divorce was kind of impending on this because, North Dakota laws still are, like, if you don't get full custody, you're not allowed to move within 50-mile radius. So it's pretty stringent and limiting for me. So when I did not win the full custody battle, that meant I was staying here, and meant that, we needed to find somebody for that office that could be there full time, because that's truly what he needed. He needed someone like me there full time. Not just consulting. And so it was unfortunate to kind of give that up, because it was a fun, we would go
we had fun.
Yes, we would go to, like, on game nights. He had his seats with his family, but also he was required as the treating dentist to be at every home game.
Yeah, because he wasn't the official dentist. Like, he paid advertising rights, right?
Yeah.
But he was the guy that actually fixed it if somebody took a puck to the mouth.
Yep. Somebody gets in a fight and they're throwing fists and you get popped in the face. Like, he was there, and he was taking care of them. He's, like I said, just so freaking brilliant. So anyways, ended up taking our daughter. I had taken a lot of videos. So at that time, trying to help my daughter just feel secure, and that, I while it's not the same as dad's, what you've always known, because again, I moved out, I can provide, and there are fun opportunities. So I had shown her, like, the opening scenes. Nobody does it quite like Vegas
Nobody does it like Vegas. There's a reason why they do it that way, and it's just...
It's incredible. I mean, they've got a drum line. They've
Chef's
got,
kiss.
Yes,
all of it.
they do so good. But it was an experience. So I showed her videos of, like, when they come out on the ice and just what it looks like and feels like. And she'd been wanting to go to a Golden Knights game for years. So, I finally made it happen, and we took her to a Golden Knights game, and of course Doc took the best care of us. He had the Golden Knight come over and say hi to her. She got the opening puck from the game. Like, there's just so many things that she doesn't even realize that she got.
Like, how cool it was. Like, it was just lost on her, and I'm like, this is the coolest damn thing in the world.
For her, she's just like, where's the popcorn?
Yeah.
True kid fashion. But, we do have some great memories. And we've got great videos of her. She was just this kid, yelling, because we won, of course, yelling, we kicked their butts. Like, just all of us in our matching jerseys. And, we'll have to go back and make more memories. But that was a big foundational thing for me, too, because, even before we were really something, Jon showed up for me. Like, that was an incredibly scary experience for me. You always hear the horror stories, and I'm one of those people like, yeah, it's not going to happen to me. But as previously stated, I tend to attract attention that I don't necessarily want. And so Jon got me through the night, stayed on the phone with me. Everything that he said to do, the Las Vegas PD said to do too. So, I got escorted out of there so that I could be safe making it to my car. Ended up getting a new rental car. You got a different one. You're like, just in case they have the license plate number, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're just...
You gave me your hotel key. I had to go back and double check you didn't leave your bag of jewelry behind.
Oh, I did leave my bag of jewelry, didn't I?
Nope. You did. I went and retrieved it, like all your necklaces and...
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say all your necklaces, but all your travel necklaces.
For sure. So it was one of those pivotal moments for us, at least in our, our relationship and friendship. And then we, of course, made adventures of it. So then I was like, okay, like I said, every time proceeding, I stayed with Doc. But for the remainder of that week, Jon was there. And so I ended up using... I, of course, got permission, but got timeshare. We had a 2-bedroom suite.
It wasn't even like a suite. It was like a villa. It was incredible.
It had a kitchen. It was awesome. So used my timeshare points to stay there. And we met a friend that Jon knew from the Goldman Sachs program.
Yep. Manuel, the section chief head. I don't know.
He's a baddie. Either way, we had
great.
So much fun.
He's great. So... See if Manuel, if you're listening, hopefully you'll join us in Vegas for this adventure and be part of it. And
that could be
just
fun.
share some of the stuff with him that we're doing on the backside of this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, who knows where this is going to lead. I'm excited about it. But
I am.
yeah, we had a good time. We went to Soshi Roku, right?
Yes, and had some really good sushi. We told them that it was Manuel's birthday. So we have a video of him being very annoyed with us. But
he was a good sport.
You know?
Well, we had breakfast that morning on the strip at a Denny's, I think, because Hash House A Go-Go was closed for renovation or something, or cleaning. Or
we did get to take Reagan there, though, and she had the time of her life there.
I ate so much, and I think it was the morning we were flying out. I was like, rah.
It was.
Or no, it was the morning before, because you flew out early when we took Reagan to the game. And I think you flew out ahead of me, and I was headed to South Carolina for training for my day job. And that's a long flight to Atlanta from Las Vegas, especially when you have a shot, a beer, and something else at the California Pizza Kitchen at 7:30 in the morning in Vegas.
Ducky.
What do you do? I told you I'm a creature.
You are a creature, and I love it.
I was a creature. I'm not so much anymore.
You still are.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it's okay.
I mean,
I love that about you. Put you in your environment, put you in your natural habitat, and the creature
in his
comes
natural
out.
habitat. You see Wild John. Man, we haven't even talked about the party one.
No.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh boy. But yeah, so that was a fun adventure, and that's why we're going to Las Vegas.
Well, and then true Las Vegas fashion. I mean, we have to do. Are we talking about the ceremony or the reception?
I feel like we're talking about the ceremony because, you know, the Golden Knights have played a substantial part of our experiences in Vegas. And I thought it'd be fun to get married on ice at their training facility, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think we're going to be able to pull that one off either, not to mention we both suck on skates. I mean, it could be a fun adventure, but also I kind of love the idea. I'm a huge Sinatra
Maybe we just
fan.
have them come to our wedding. I don't know.
Yeah. Woo,
You hear that, Golden Knights?
If that works, John, I don't know what I'll do.
We can get you a Golden Knights dress. You can just turn one of these into a full-on dress.
If
Sew
anyone
two of
could
them
do it,
together.
my mom could, for sure.
So two of them together. We have Stone marry us.
Oh, Barry. Oh, baby.
He could be the ring bearer.
Rar.
Rar.
But yeah, so we're gonna do the Little White Chapel. I kind of love that idea of doing Little White Chapel. I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan. Sinatra was married there.
He was. It's kind of iconic.
It is very iconic, and it was, you know, I think it would
we
be
love
special.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
And the whole Rat Pack, but specifically Sinatra. I think one of the first times that you maybe realized that I had a thing for you asked me what my favorite Sinatra song was.
Yeah, that's right. Here I'm playing it cool, and I'm like, my kind of town. I mean, it's got a key change in it. Like, that's an epic song.
Well, yeah, for, you know, people that are super into music. And I'm the hopeless romantic over here.
Strangers in the Night.
Yes, absolutely. It wasn't so on the nose of, like, the way you look tonight, but...
You know, but that is a bucket list. We are going to dance at one of our weddings to The Way You Look Tonight, for sure. Yes.
So we'll find out. But yeah, the ceremony at the Little White Chapel, like the photos will be iconic.
For sure.
Be great for the tour. Just great for us.
I mean, Rachel and Ross got married in Vegas.
Yeah,
like,
none of
there's
this
so many
is
people that...
none of this is us performing anything for anyone besides ourselves of just having a good time. So it just happens to be interesting to people, I think.
Well, you know, and it does play a huge role. Like my dad and stepmom, the one that we ended up moving to Arizona with, stepmom number 3, she was... That's where they eloped in Las Vegas. I remember being very angry with them and little 10-year-old, 11-year-old girl because I didn't get to be a part of the wedding, which is, again, why we're doing
all these weddings with the
for
kids.
our kiddos as well, and including our kiddos because, you know, it's important. And so, you know, they eloped in Las Vegas, so we get to have that kind of fun, like, hey, baby, let's go to Vegas and get married there, and just whatever happens. We don't need to have a formal ceremony. I do feel that we need to stop by our favorite sushi place, see if Doc wants to join us for some sushi that night. He'll be surprised when we're there in our wedding stuff, but you know, this is for us to connect with the people that made an impact, and this is for us to be able to, you know, just go back and visit those places where, like, you were literally my golden knight in shining armor. And you came to, like, I was truly scared. I don't know if many of you can relate, or if men even, like just even a woman walking by herself in a parking lot at nighttime, there's just a certain level of awareness that you have to have that I don't think that other people really understand fully until you've been in that kind of a situation. And, I was scared for sure. And to just have my best friend there not making light of the situation, because it was a serious situation, but also to just make good memories.
Just bring a level of comfort.
But we were able to make, I think that's when we played the Willy Wonka slot machine.
Excellent.
We actually won $1,200, and then we went to a steakhouse and had...
In the Venetian, went to Monaco.
Yes.
Had some good wine, had some good steak.
Yeah.
That was the time I didn't have anything to do that first time that I met you, really, for the first couple days. I met up with Manuel. He happened to be in Vegas at the time. I don't even know how I knew that. Like, if it was like social media or LinkedIn or like I just randomly knew it, right?
Right.
And he's traveling I felt like he was traveling for like a month and a half there. He was just on the road and he was ready to go home. But I went shopping.
Oh, yeah, the suit.
The suit.
I wish you could fit into that. That would be a good
We can try
suit.
it out.
Yeah.
We can get the laser lipo.
There you go.
Maybe make me fit in it for all of a couple days, but hey, whatever works. But yeah, I went shopping and got like a navy blue suit and brown shoes, made myself feel pretty.
Yeah, you got a makeover in Vegas.
I did, and got like a flamingo shirt and a flamingo tie, and yeah, surprised you in the lobby.
Looking all fancy.
Yeah, surprised you in the lobby of wherever the 2-bedroom suite was, and yeah, you thought you were coming back, and you didn't even recognize me at first. That was the first time you saw me, I think, dressed up.
I think it is.
But I just thought maybe we should go and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
I felt fancy.
Go live it up.
I felt fancy. Worked out.
Well,
maybe
we
that
were
was
on a mission, because previous years, like I said, we've had many experiences. All I wanted was the Titanic slot machines.
I tried.
And I thought that they were for sure going to be, like we had read online, like we've done all this research. They're at the Venetian. They were not at the Venetian anymore. The Titanic slot machines, I feel like they're
gone.
retired.
I feel like I went to every casino or called every casino looking for the Titanic slot machines for you. So if you didn't know that I was super in love with you and crazy head over heels at that point, but it was just being a gentleman about it and waiting until you.
Well, Doc and his wife, they knew.
Everybody knew before you knew, and honestly, before I even really knew. But at that point, I did. I knew I was crazy about you, and I really just wanted to know what life was like with you, and it's so much better than I could ever imagine.
Yeah, it really is.
But Doc knew.
Doc knew.
And his wife
called
knew.
it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure 3/4 of the Golden Knights know. Or knew. So.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly. And the WNBA team as well. Because you got to have that experience.
Got to play with got to go have, sit courtside with the Aces for sure.
That was cool. They won that year, right? They won the championship. Yep. So that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's
lots of good times in Vegas.
For sure. And being able to be a part of the, industrial type community. And it's always been, business, but there's always good times to be had for sure. For sure. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just take it on tour and just kind of let the reception be what it is. I feel like we need to go hit a Wonka machine just for old time's sake.
Well, I took you to at that time, it had already been to Vegas, and I went to it during the Barn Restaurant Expo.
Where'd we go?
We went to the Moonburger place. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
In the Palazzo.
Oh, shoot.
And I'd been there, and it was so good.
That was incredible.
It was right across from David Chang's restaurant there.
What was it called? I don't even remember.
It was a moon... We'll have to look it up, but it was incredible. It's gone now. They've changed it into another concept, but that was fun.
Yes. They did have good burgers there, and the chicken was phenomenal, too.
And we weren't even staying at the Venetian. No. You got something at Hilton, I think, so...
Yeah, what was
but I think when we go back...
or something like
the
that?
Allura. But it was off the strip, so that was kind of a bummer.
Well, it wasn't fully off the strip. It was just behind Planet Hollywood. But, yeah.
I mean, it was a nice place, don't get me wrong. But I think for this experience, we want to stay...
Probably
on
Venetian.
The strip. I think the Venetian or the Palazzo. I
mean,
like that
it's
place.
literally going to be one night.
We could stay at the Waldorf Astoria.
Sky's the limit, my love.
4 seasons. Win. We're going to have to publish a lot more episodes before we can afford the win.
Yeah.
The Venetian's fine. There's a lot of room.
Yeah.
There's enough room in those rooms to have conversations with our production crew.
For sure.
Which is a camera operator and Randy.
Yep.
It's not like a full-on production. Like you say, the production crew makes it sound so fancy. It's really not. It's me with a selfie stick or somebody holding the camera. Mm-hmm. Or a GoPro clip to the windshield.
Either way, I'm happy with all of it. It's us.
It is us. It is us. And we'd still be having this adventure either way.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the most us way to have a wedding.
I would say so.
I mean, if you think about where we wanted to be with the wedding, and then now this, we're going to look back in like 30 years and be like, it was always that. Mm-hmm. Just like it was always you.
Yep.
Just didn't know your name yet.
Well, my name is Keisha.
My name is Jon. This is JKLOL Storytime.
And we are going to be signing off. Thanks for spending time with us for our second stop in the second leg of the wedding tour.
Thanks, regulars.
Cheers.
We'll see you next time.